You're listening to What's Your Damage? The world's best Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition narrative-heavy actual play podcast inspired by Filipino mythology. We release new episodes at least every other week, sometimes more if we're feeling spicy. And now, on to the show.
Last time on What's Your Damage?
Whatever you were feeling, that kind of like, what is going on? Suddenly, oceans of calm wash over you. And the chapter is actually, it is the time before the gods, when there was only darkness. And there were kings of shadow called Olothecs. You did ruin all of my good liquor. It's called top shelf for a reason.
My height has been a disadvantage my whole life, and I thought since I was in this magical, wonderful place, things would finally change. What's the closest sconce of fire near the puddle of alcohol?
Oh, me meow. Okay.
He's gonna throw drop his current drink at that sconce.
In your hand, you hold a black ruddle stone, and as you look at it, it almost appears as if there are two red eyes inside.
There's so much weird shit going on.
Yeah, we're in deep fudge.
I think I rolled badly.
Oh no.
My name is LeFae and I don't know where I am. Ha cha cha!
You're gonna come back and you will have stolen it already.
I'll think about nothing else until the end of my day.
Oh yeah, I'll just steal it off screen without rolling. I like that.
Yeah.
That will be 2 points of damage.
Does Verseverin join the group?
No, I'm going over here.
Okay.
I'm starting to wonder what happens if you light something on fire.
God, that's a really good question.
Typically, it burns.
The party is back together outside. What's everyone doing right now?
Well, I assume I managed to hide the book.
Yep.
Okay, I would have turned around to talk to Riz and then noticed that the kobold, left and, grabbing her hand to, go after him when we almost run into Wobbles. I'm like,
Wobbles, good. Come with us.
And then I'm going to just try and lead them.
I will, since I can, I will just grab Wobbles as I'm going by, and LeFae is yanking me. I'm like, nah, you're coming too, bud. I don't know why, but I feel bonded to you.
Because he's being really nice, and thank you so much for handling her earlier.
What? Oh, Corrigan's dealing with a lot right now. A fire, most specifically. As that. Mm-hmm.
I was as they round the corner, she's glancing in the window as they pass, just to see if LeFae is storming out the door at this moment. Is she?
No, not currently.
Yeah. What do either of you two know about the Olothecs?
I mean, look.
What don't I know?
History wasn't my strongest suit.
What do I know about him, Elliot?
Why don't you give me a roll, my friend?
Yeah, why don't you roll history?
Ooh, I'm good at this.
Oh my god!
I'm very good at this.
Rolled an 18. Parker on a crazy hot.
23 total. Fuck yeah, dude.
Oof.
Go.
Knowing things is kind of my wheelhouse.
Here, allow me to correct the book that you have.
Knowing things is kind of my whole thing.
What do I know about the what?
Olothecs.
Well, actually, it's pronounced. No.
No.
Olothecs.
Don't gnome-splain us.
Okay, so I'm gonna try a different way of dispersing information. Since you rolled so GD high, which I think was an 18, right?
Mm-hmm. Total of 23.
For a total of 23. I'm gonna let you go this way. You can ask me 3 questions about the Olothec that you want, and I will answer completely truthfully. So I will give you the information that you specifically ask for, or if you can't think of anything because you don't know what you think may be a good question, I can also just info dump on you.
I'll take an info dump for my first one. So just
Okay.
like one very general, but not like stupid obvious. Like a 23 worthy general information.
Elliot, I just want to make it clear. I got a 23. So give me 23. Give me a 23 worth of information, my man. Don't just say, Olothec is spelled with an O. Okay. 23. You know, Olothecs are real, and they still exist. They are relegated to the damp and dark places people don't want to be. And I think you would also know, although they are physically powerful, they proffer in knowing and trading in emotions and thoughts and that sort of thing. There is a feeling that them below, the gods who are associated with emotions and the drives of these beasts we call ourselves, is derived from Olothecs, even though that isn't true. They may say that. So that's your first.
What's their general disposition towards sorts like us?
Well, I think it depends on the information that you have that they can get from you. If you are an intriguing person who has an intriguing job, or your history could be used for profit and trading, then they would probably try to get as much information from you as possible.
So it's generally transactional and not hostile?
Definitely
Like,
hostile. But
okay.
definitely hostile because they think of you as lesser beings and they are relegated to trading information with the gods who are stronger than them. Dragons, if they still exist, and whom they especially hate, and each other, because they're very territorial about their spot of darkness.
Okay, so they're mean, but you can give them something they want.
I have a light suggestion for a third question that you are free to reject if you have one that's probably more insightful.
Oh, I don't have one yet, so go ahead, shoot.
My question in this situation would be, is there anything about Corgan LeFae that would make sense if she was one of these Olothats?
Olothot.
Yeah, I guess sort of as a spin-off of that question, like, what form do they typically take? Or not typically, but like, what's the range of forms they're able to take?
They are kind of amorphous beings. Not kind of. They are amorphous beings, so they can change, but they don't generally change into anything in particular. They're just either very big, very small, somewhere in between. They don't have the power of shape-changing.
Okay. I relay all that. And that's what I know about them.
Okay. Well,
And she's gonna. Is the kobold still going? Or is it just hiding?
No, he's definitely trying to pick up something. You see that there is freshly dug dirt, and he is quickly trying to scrabble into the ground to retrieve something.
I'm going to keep an eye out and let him do that, or keep an ear out. As I...
okay. My friend here said we're dealing with Olothecs. Like, that's what's wrong with LeFae. That's what she is.
At this, he stops his digging, and he looks at you, and he gives a quick head shake.
No, not her.
He goes, as
Which I would understand.
As what they don't know is he is saying, like, no. She works for one, he says.
Oh, sorry. She works for one.
The manager.
Yeah, I guess.
Poison damages. So we have a semi-omnipotent being that is trying to what with us?
I don't know. That's the weird thing. Like,
Because I don't know about you, but I ain't got any good information. You know, I'm just like a regular gal.
Do either of you know anything about this? And I pull out the black ruttle with red eyes. Are they eyes, or do they look like eyes, but they're not eyes?
They appear to be eyes, although not ones that work.
Okay.
Googly eyes stuck onto a gem.
And I hold it out, hopefully that everyone, including the kobold, can see.
I mean, it's kind of pretty.
Yeah, I don't really know.
I think it's, I mean, it's some
I
kind of
took it from
gemstone.
that Corgan lady.
Well, that makes it super interesting, honestly. I figure anything she has got to be worth something. Not monetarily speaking, but, you know, information-wise.
I mean, I could try something, but it might destroy it, so I don't think that's a good idea.
Hang on. I don't know, like, hang on. And Riz is gonna back around the corner of the building and like go about, you know, a couple, be like, the Severin, come here. Buddy, come here, please.
And at this moment, I am attempting to communicate with the bunny that hopped away a little bit.
Okay. Oh, what are you trying to say to the bunny?
So they've been gone before Riz has come around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they jumped when Wobbles rushed out like a bat out of hell.
Yeah, so I'll have a short time here before Riz comes back around. Burrow friend, they're gone. Do you have family at home? And I hold out more of the berries. I have 8 left.
Oh, this is a very good question. Does he have family at home? I used to live with a bunny. He was a great landlord. The thing about the bunny that I used to live with is he always looked like he had a plan, or he was always thinking about something, even though he was just like chewing grass or hay.
And so that's who you're channeling into this one that I've met.
Yeah, and so like this little bunny has always had like a kind of, he was thinking about something, you know, whether it be panic or terror or fleeing from the large creatures around him. But when you ask him this particular question about his personal life, his eyes go blank for a minute as he goes,
Please take food for the family. Feed your clan. Feed yourself.
Yeah, he says unsuredly as he hops over to you, and as he starts to take a couple of these good berries, we'll say he's going to take about, let me roll this because they are very small creatures.
He's got 2 hands and no pockets, 1 mouth.
He takes 3 of them, 2 in his little front paws, 1 in his cheeks. And you go, thanks.
Hey, I can make another 10 every day. I don't care.
He says as he like looks at you and he goes, thanks. As he goes, after family, maybe? He says as...
Love the idea of casting Speak with the Animals just to have it have a mouthful of food for the 10 minutes. Oops. Shouldn't have given that rabbit peanut butter.
As he goes, no, really the only thing I remember before this is, I was just ready to get some cabbages.
I understand. I'm having a hard time here, little friend. It's been a strange evening.
As his little mouth starts to close on the good berry.
Have you seen any Fae activity? I sense the hand, those wine-pissing Fae, always meddling in my affairs.
Oh, this is a very good question. This is a very good question indeed.
Is the nature of this place? It vexes me, little burrow friend.
As he's chewing, like he's listening to you because I think he feels like he needs someone to chat with. He's got big old ears.
I trust in the knowledge of nature.
And he starts.
And if I don't know if it needs to be added to what you're doing here. What I'm attempting meta level here is I just want to stumble maybe accidentally into what's going on using like the rabbit, maybe an insight check, maybe a little guidance boost on it. I think Viseverin is wrong, but I feel for the guy, and I want to give him a chance to maybe have a rabbit set him on the right path.
I definitely think this rabbit will give you a piece of information that may not seem especially useful right now, but may be useful later. As he's horses champ on bits.
Nibble. Rabbits nibble.
Yeah, he's nibbling.
Nibble at the bit.
Yeah, he's nibbling
at the bit.
He's nibbling at the bit. And as he's nibbling at that bit that needs to be nibbled, thinks about it for a moment. He goes like, what's up, Doc? No. He goes, are Fae like the little dragon that's over there? He says as he points his nose towards where you probably saw the Cabal escape to.
Typically.
Because there were little gold ones that were at the edges of this place.
Small gold
dragons
at the edges of this property.
He says, smiling.
Thank you, burrow friend.
Thank you, he says as he goes, I don't know why, but I feel compelled to still get those cabbages even though I have these good berries. I'll be back, he says as he hops away. As he is hopping away, that's when
he leaves. I'm still talking to him and thanking him.
As Riz comes across the corner.
Riz sees me talking to a rabbit that is not there.
Yeah, the Severin. Hey, buddy.
Riz, my tall, smooth-skinned friend.
Thank you. I moisturize regularly. Could you just come over here for like a minute?
Can.
This way. And like, I think Riz the entire time is just like flapping her hand like, come on. She's just gonna lead him to the others.
As Verseverin and Riz return, LeFae, you feel pulling on your robe again, the little kobold.
And she'll immediately squat down.
Well met, scale friend.
As
what's going on?
He pulls out what looks like bar napkins and drawn very, very roughly and poorly. And I think you would gather that he's probably dipped his finger in ink or in ash and done this with his nail. You see several drawings. You see a candy cone bearded gnome stabbing him. You see what's obviously his insert being unhappy looking as he's getting stabbed by a wobbles looking thing.
Beer emoji, sword emoji, frowny emoji.
Yeah. You see Riz fucking flexing their muscle as a bunch of creatures like him flee from her. You see Verseverin laughing, laying down in the grass as a bunch of kobolds are like jumping over him, not attacking him, but like having fun. And you see a picture of you with him and him giving you this. You get the sense that this is not his first time showing you this.
She'll look at him and look at these napkins and just lean in and very quickly, very softly, nip his arm and then turn back and hand these over to Riz. And you're like,
I think we can't go anywhere near that manager.
Okay, this is weird. Hey, Wobbles, look, it's you. You're stabbing shit. She'll just like hold the napkin down to him.
Well, I don't think I did that.
Listen. You're very distinctive looking, okay? And I'm not saying that meanly. It's a good look, but it's very distinctive.
Yeah, we all are pretty distinct, unlike those other guys in the tavern.
We are. You know, that's true. We all have main character syndrome. Interesting. Interesting how that works. Anyway, this is okay. Well, okay. Do any of you have like this weird sense of just like deja vu?
No, but like, But like my hands hurt like really, really, really bad when when we were at the table.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like I remember being out near the beach, and then all of a sudden I'm just at a table. And I don't know how I got there, but my hands hurt, and my hands only really hurt if I've been doing something like trying to sew or write or play an instrument. And I don't think I was doing any of those things, because I wouldn't be doing any of those things usually. But if they trade in secrets, and she said something about paperwork.
I remember a mountain, walking through the snow, wandering through caves. I had no good berries. When I was in the inn, it's unusual for me to have no good berries by this time of the day.
Oh, gotcha. Like you you like have them in the morning and then you have them
Part
all
of my
day.
morning routine.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, like I was honestly heading into town, and this is like nowhere near town, as far as I can tell. Because I know the area pretty well that I was in, and I don't remember an inn like this ever.
I mean, I think they keep calling it like a cafe. Are cafes normally in the middle of the woods on Harmony?
Not that I know of. They're usually in the city, and they're usually a lot nicer than this fucking dump.
Aw.
Also, does anyone smell smoke right now? Or is that just me?
Yeah, when I ran out screaming fire, there was really a fire that I started.
You started a fight. Good job.
Yeah, so I could have a foolproof
As
better stay at least 30 feet from the door.
As you're saying this, Wobble.
Is going to shove the napkins in her shirt.
As you're saying this, Wobbles, suddenly kicking down the door is our friend and beloved NPC, Corgan LeFae, as she goes, "Oh, Wobbles. Hello, Riz. Hello, the Wayward. Wobbles,
hi.
my little friend.
Did you need something with Wobbles? What's going on? You know what? Listen, I have some questions.
I'm going to grab Wobbles' hand and just pull him over next to me.
I like to imagine if she's just walking, Riz is just following.
Right.
Menacingly.
And she goes, Wobbles, hi. So, I believe I overheard, I overheard you saying something in the effect that you pretended to trip to do that. Which,
I didn't say that. I said I started a fire.
Yes.
Play back the recording.
As
ma'am, he said he started a fire. So is there currently a fire in your establishment?
you see
at
that
this
her
moment?
bouffant is smoking as a woman who looks almost exactly like Corgan arrives, and she goes, "Oh, look at that, coming together again."
I don't. This is okay. I've been feeling deja vu, but this is just fucked up.
Is one of them in gray and one of them in black?
Yes.
Okay. Perseverin feels calmer. He's been stressed about the current Corgan that he's been interacting with being in black because he has a vague memory of her being in gray. So despite there being two of them, which should be distressing, this is actually calming.
So, I did want to congratulate you, Wobbles.
On escaping the building so fast?
It showed...
Keeping myself safe?
It showed such enormous cleverness. Yes, some may even call it, as she sits on the stump next to her, some may even call it deviousness. Yes, this isn't... Sister, come with me, as the other Corgan stands beside her. I believe...
Sisters.
That Wobbles here, and also his many friends. Hello, she says as she looks at the kobold, who is trying to look unassuming. I believe Wobbles has earned himself some consideration for a prize. Yes, a prize.
I don't know if I want a prize.
Oh, I think you would like this one quite a bit, she says as she smiles.
I'd consider depending on the nature of the prize.
Oh, yes. You see, we are sitting on so many different and deep lores, things that haven't been discovered in several thousand years, things that were thought to be disregarded or myths. We have them. And I think, seeing as how incredibly smart you are, you deserve to see them, no?
While all this is going on, I want to look. So we've been interacting with the one in black.
Mm-hmm.
I want to. Is the one in gray dressed the same?
Exactly the same, minus the gray.
I'm looking to see if it seems like she has something in her pocket where the other one had this.
Okay, do you want to...
Can I double dip on my stealing?
Yes.
Okay, do you want to try to play it off that you aren't sizing up this woman?
I mean, I'm just looking around nervously, in quotes, and just trying to
Roll me a performance check, and depending on that, we'll see.
Roll a 12.
Oh my gosh. The man has not rolled under a 10 today.
Double-digit wobble.
I think this...
D&D double digits.
I think the gray Corgan is kind of not understanding what you're doing. However, the one that you've been interacting with all this time is staring daggers at you, following where your eyes are going. As she goes, as she reaches into her dress, exactly where you pilfered that stone, and as she withdraws her hand is balled in a fist that she opens up, revealing nothing.
Passive aggressive.
So, I know that you're a man who likes to find many things and likes to discover new things, or actually very old things that are made new by time. And actually, if you want to bring your friends, because, well, it is dangerous to go alone, after all, well, we can all go together.
Well, you say I like to know things, and that's true, so where would we be going?
Oh, we would be going back in the tavern, and we would be going to the library.
Why?
And where's the library exactly?
The library is a place that is hidden from view from all of these nondescript people.
Uh-huh. And what direction is the library?
Well, it's certainly inside the tavern again.
You're not answering the questions again.
I don't know. In this context, I guess I'll just say east. That's the direction it is in. Is that direct enough? Would you like me to go east, but with a southerly tilt?
So it's where the sunlight can reach, right?
Oh, considering the time, I don't think there's much sun anywhere.
She's gonna just turn and just look at Wobbles.
Perseveron, what do you think about this? And he walks over to him, and he's just kind of standing by him, asking for his opinion.
I am several minds about this situation.
Are any of them sober?
Oh,
There's no reason to be rude.
I was very agitated. I have felt an unnatural calmness. I've spoken to the wildlife. They've disabused me of my assumption that the Fae were vexing me. I was told there were more old scale friends. I'm unsure what this means.
Okay.
You, scale friend, you eaten today?
He says as he suddenly looks very concerned about being called out directly.
And I hold up my hand with some berries.
He looks at it and he's like,
No concept of whatever shit I'm stirring up. Just trying to feed. And I also speak in Draconic when I ask him, scale friend, if he's eaten today.
Wait also goes just perks up and then like grabs Verseverin's arm.
As LeFae is grabbing his arm and he asks the scale friend whether he's eaten today, you see your little kobold friend look at the LeFae sisters and think for a moment before he goes, oh. And Corgan goes, oh, yes. I mean, do you know that library has many different meanings? It has books, yes, of course. It also has deeds to various businesses that we've come into contact with, adventuring, because people had such a great time here that they were willing to give away so many different properties that had so many incredible locations where if one was to be a business person, well, they would certainly be very valuable to them. As she turns around and smiles at Riz before.
Riz has her arms crossed and is looking very unimpressed with anything that she's saying.
And she goes, can I tell you that I've heard a little bit of scuttlebutt around the scuttlebutt, as it were? She says as she smiles. And the other Corgan steps a little bit further away from her sister.
So, like, what's your deal? Like, honestly, here.
Well, let me tell you about that scuttlebutt. There's a very prominent family in Harmony who have many sons and daughters. And, the daughter that is not there currently, is...
Is what?
Perhaps not doing what she needs to in order to secure her family's well-being. However...
You know, if I were a betting woman, which I kind of am sometimes on the right occasion, I would say that sounds suspiciously like a threat.
Oh, is information a threat to you?
Sometimes it can be.
Oh, I imagine it.
Like I was just trying to offer my small friend here. I'm continuing to speak in Draconic. A small amount of nourishment. I had created far more than I needed. I feel like this conversation has gone completely out of the woods. If the matter is that you would like a berry, I suppose I have enough for you as well, but I had offered it to first.
The gray Corgan starts to also speak Draconic, so I think LeFae and Viseverin hear this. She goes, yes, getting lost in the woods after a lifetime of strife. That makes much sense. Yes. A lifetime.
So I'm hearing that as a no on a berry.
Oh, no, I certainly do appreciate it, though. I do like good berries. I've had less than I would prefer today, she says.
Will you allow my friend to have berry? It seems as though he's deferring to you in all of his choices.
As she walks past LeFae and stands next to him, she goes, he can certainly have whatever he'd like. As he looks...
Also, I'm blissfully ignorant of the fact that this is possibly very dangerous for little poor kobold. Putting him on the spot.
Yeah.
Viseverin is very innocently...
Yeah. He's like, I just want to be my buddy.
Making these suggestions.
Yeah. She goes, go ahead, take it. He looks at her, looks at you, looks at LeFae, and starts to slowly put his hand into yours. You can, I think, as you're holding your hand out, you can feel the tremble in his...
Sure.
And she goes, go ahead, eat it, she says, as he looks back at her and puts it in his little maw and bites down. Delightful, she says.
And I just look at him and say something like, be balanced, friend. Vague, nature-y druid shit.
Yeah, 100%. As Corgan goes, so there is many different things that we found, different magics that help with so many different things. It's fascinating.
Which one's talking right now?
The one right in front of you, the one seated.
Okay.
The black Corgan.
Who is she talking to?
She's talking to Wobbles. As she goes,
I'm slowly wandering. If that matters, if anyone will stop me, just I'm letting everyone know Severin's on the move.
Verseverin's just taken off. Okay.
He's fed his little friend, and so I'll stop at this corner here in case it matters, but if it doesn't matter, then I'm just going to kind of keep wandering a little bit.
Sure.
I was say LeFae had grabbed his arm, and I don't think she let go.
Oh, so she's the one holding him there.
Okay.
And if he looks like he really wants her to leave, she'll let him. But
I feel like he would just move. You know what I mean? Like without thinking that someone has grabbed his arm.
Okay. In that case, she would let go. She's not gonna like force anything.
You're not clutching, yeah.
Yeah.
So
she was tempted, but she's trying to restrain herself.
okay, as for Severin just wanders away, doing druid concerns.
Nature calls, and I don't mean just to drain the lizard's lizard.
Corgan is talking to Wobble, being like, so, I mean, many things that could help. Oh, let's say a knowledge investigator, eh? Oh, sorry, no, knowledge detective. That's what you mammals call it.
What are you getting at?
Part of our intake process, she says, as the other sister is looking at the kobold who is just trying to get through this moment. As she gets up and takes a step back so she can see all of you without being in the center of the cuddle puddle, as it were, because Riz was back and behind her and Wobbles was in front of her. She goes, we all want some information. I think that's true. And I think, if I were all of you, I would be, she thinks for a moment. I would be curious about the doings of such a place as ours. Because, yes, we are not your average tavern. We are a tavern that specializes in finding people who are special and interesting and helping them find the things that they need. And so, do we have a whole rigmarole where we have you adventure to see who is truly worthy? We do. I am sorry for the deception, she says, as she looks at you. Oh, there goes for Severin. Good for him.
I jump up on the stump that she was sitting on, so I'm a little taller.
Yeah, you're like right at her chest as you were looking up at her.
And I say, help how?
Well,
and he's really sizing her up to make sure she's not gonna try and continue passing any bullshit.
She goes, I think a knowledge detective as yourself would agree with me that information is, I mean, Maslow's hierarchy of needs and all that, where first we must have food and water and shelter, of course. However, it is one thing to be able to find fire. It is another thing to create fire, no matter, how we do so, she says, her eyes narrowing at you, Wobbles. I mean, there's so many people here, so many people who come to experience this, and because they have such a good time, I didn't want to have to reveal this because I wanted it to be a surprise, she says, as she looks to her sister, and her sister takes out a big book, and she shows it to you, and you can see that on this it says Volume 1. And she goes, right before we release everybody to go and find the adventure that is life, she says, kind of rolling her eyes as she says it, we have them write down a little bit of their biography. And so many interesting people have passed by and revealed things that, they don't normally reveal, you know. And she opens it to a page that I think would be especially interesting to LeWei. And LeWei, you see something signed with a giant K. It goes, what can I say about my life? It's been long, and I gave birth when I didn't think that I was pregnant.
LeFae just, like, her brows just knot together at this.
As the gray LeFae.
GM.
Yes?
May I roll an insight check on Corgan when she was like, when the adventurers go out on the adventure of life and roll their eyes, if it was like... May I?
Of course you may.
I just kind of deem if she is completely full of shit, if she thinks this is stupid, or like what her actual feelings were. If I can roll.
Oh my god!
Ooh.
3 total. No, wait, did I roll?
Yeah, you rolled. She rolled a 23 all told.
23 total.
Oh man.
23 total.
Huh. And as
Because I'm wise.
As she's trying to figure this out, Viseverin is still wandering, and as he wanders, suddenly
I come around the corner of the bar, and either this is the GM having stray tokens set up randomly, or I've stumbled upon another LeFae.
who is in a dark,
What color LeFae? We've got gray, we've got black.
and this LeFae is in a slightly darker than blood red. So I would,
Okay.
yeah, it
Maroon.
I would say maroon.
Sure.
And she goes, "Hello, Verseverin. Do you hear the fairies? Do you see the fae?"
Sweet mother of fairies.
As
I was startled as I came around this corner.
oh,
Not at all what I was expecting.
yes, she says, but look, as she points, and down the way, you see what look like traveling lights.
Oh,
I think they're beckoning you.
what is this?
I don't know. I'm not as in touch with
What?
the dream as you are, she says as she steps back.
I recklessly, no questioning of a third LeFae around the corner.
Okay.
I found the wine pissers.
As you scream out, "I found the wine pissers," and go towards the lights,
Just charging into foolishly a beckoning light in the woods. Always a good idea for a character.
yeah, you just follow this, and as you are
Sure.
running towards this, as you get close to the lights, which are dancing in a multitude of splendid ways,
Splendiferous.
you disappear.
Cool. Do I yell loud enough to be heard around the corner?
That's a very good question. What's everyone's passive?
That's a good question.
I think mine is pretty high.
Oh, what's the chance of that? You with the 4 wisdom?
Yeah, so my passive wisdom is 18.
So not too high. Okay, got it.
Perception 11.
Okay. Wobbles.
13.
Definitely Riz heard him go. What did he say? What did he say again?
Riz just heard wine pisser. Clearly Viseveron's voice, and then maybe the hard stomping of a running large dragonborn who was previously idly strolling and now is full tilt running.
Wine pissers.
He's a big boy.
Thunk. As she has learned this, dismissive. She's dismissive of these big lives that these people return to.
You know, I'm getting a vibe here with you. And she's just gonna like gesture to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, listen, do you like what you do?
I would say I do.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, yes. It's very rewarding.
Isn't it? And is that what's the rewarding part of it? Is it the gathering of people's secrets, lying, cheating, kidnapping, potentially ransoming information? Like, which part do you just get off on?
She looks at you sadly, and then she looks at Wobbles, and then she looks at LeWay, and she looks at her sister. And she goes, "Oh dear, I hate it when we do this." She smiles at you and suddenly transforms into something that can only be described as something living and breathing that comes from the sea. Something imbued with incredible magical energy.
A whale?
To some people, yes. Are they that? No.
A super whale?
Oh, ooh, no. But I wish that would have been cool. And
a fish Yankee?
And with that, roll me initiative.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah,
This
I'm here for it.
Damn it. I was going to say, my dream come true, running into the lights and disappearing. But not when initiative's been rolled.
Yeah, just sever and come back. Can it be a free action to go? Sever?
Thank you for listening to What's Your Damage Season 2, featuring Ray Palmer as LeFae, Sadie Blake as Okop, Kate Ingram as Riz Parcheesi, Douglas Gale as Perseveron, Parker Postini as Wobbles Waggletop. Elliot Rose is our Dungeon Master. Audio engineering by Sadie Blake and Douglas Gale. All music created by Sadie Blake. Sound effect attributions can be found in the show notes.
Hey, thanks for listening to the show. You can find more of What's Your Damage on Apple Music and Spotify, or on our website, WYDpod.com. We've got maps, just gorgeous character art, and tons of lore for all needs to know. There's also going to be a sign up for our newsletter, which features content warnings for all episodes upon release, because we think that's super important. And for those of you that want to chat with us on social media, because you love us so much, you can find us at WYD Pod, and that's WYDPODD on Instagram and Threads, as well as a bunch of others listed on our website. In case you don't like those first two, you can find us elsewhere, because if there's a place to be, we're probably there already. So, please stop by, say hi. We would all genuinely love to hear from you.
What do I know about the what?